Hey guys, it's Danny. Welcome back to my channel. I have a different kind of video for you today. It's going to be a Montauk Project conspiracy theory video, and you may not know this about me, but I really do like researching into conspiracy theories and unsolved mysteries. I spend a lot of time binge watching people's playlists on YouTube of the unsolved mystery videos. I think they're really interesting and they're good to have up because it creates awareness for the people that have gone missing. And I don't know, I just like kind of thinking out of the box sometimes. So if you like these types of videos, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel so I know, and if you have any requests for unsolved mystery videos or any kind of video in this subject line, leave it down below in the comments, like kind of what you want to see. I actually really enjoy researching these kind of topics, so we'll see where this goes. So most of you may have seen the Netflix series Stranger Things. Now this is based on the Montauk Project, and it took place on Long Island, New York. I'm from Long Island, New York, and I live only an hour from where it took place in Montauk. I literally grew up going to Montauk. I've been to the Radar Tower, and I've explored the buildings and the grounds there. So I figured this would be a really interesting video, and I'm gonna get right into it. So I'll start with saying that during World War II and the Cold War, the US government wanted a weapon stronger than like nuclear bombs. It needed a weapon really strong that no one else had. So they thought, hey, how about mind control? They wanted to overpower the opposing forces in a new way. So some of you may or may not have heard of the Philadelphia experiment and Project MK Ultra. These have a lot to do with the Montauk Project. They're kind of all connected. I could get into that in another video. It'll take up a lot of time talking about those things, but Project MK Ultra was a real thing. I have a video of Bill Clinton that I will link down below so you can check out him admitting and apologizing for the acts that happened during Project MK Ultra. The government confessed to doing mind control experiments on human test subjects. They drugged them, LSD, all this crazy crap went on. Look up the USS Eldridge. It was a boat that went invisible, went missing. We're gonna get into Montauk Project now though, but just know that those things are all kind of connected. The Montauk Project originally started at the Brookhaven National Lab in Long Island, New York, and it was originally called the Phoenix Project, but they could not keep doing it there or start it there because they didn't have a large enough radar dish, and if they had a big radar dish there, it would be very noticeable and the whole project would be given away. It wouldn't be very secretive. It would totally compromise the security of the project because it was a populated area. So since it required such a large radar dish, it just so happened that there was a US Air Force base in Montauk, New York that was just decommissioned not too long ago, sitting there doing nothing, and had a huge Sage radar dish, and that was big enough for them to use. So they relocated to that location, and it worked out great for them because it was a very remote, secluded area right by the water, and this is at the very, very tip of Long Island on the South Fork. Currently, Montauk is a huge tourist spot, but back then it was really isolated. It was just a fisherman's town, really quiet, just that end of Long Island, no one really went there. Due to the location of Camp Hero, or the US Air Force Base that the Montauk Project was based at, being so close to the water, it's literally at the water's edge, it was really easy for them to bring in and out equipment totally undetected. So it was super easy for them to keep it really secretive. Equipment was moved to Camp Hero in the 1960s and installed in an underground bunker beneath the base. And then in the 1970s, the early 1970s, is when they started doing these experiments on human test subjects. So they have several hundred workers, but they need to find these test subjects. And who do they choose to test on? They pick people who won't be missed. They go for homeless people, they go for runaways, and they specifically go for boys, young boys aged 12 to 16, kind of in the puberty age because they're very vulnerable at that age. And they usually would pick people that were in good shape. These people were subjected to radiation, physical and mental abuse and torture, LSD drug testing, hypnosis, anything to break them down. And I'll get into that in a second. But the Montauk Project really consisted of three main parts, and that was 1, connecting to extraterrestrials, 2, mind control, and 3, dimension traveling. You would be totally drugged up on LSD, probably a large amount of it, and you would be just a sponge, ready to absorb everything. So one worker would break you down, and then you would be passed over to the programmers who would strap you to a chair, put bright lights in your face, You'd already be drugged up, like I said, so you're just totally out of it, totally vulnerable and open. And the programmers would program whatever they wanted into your mind. They would strap you to what they called the Montauk Chair. And this chair had the ability to make you understand new information, just puts things in your head. You don't have to even try to understand it. It's just programmed into your head. It gave you the ability to create an object, and just an inanimate object, anything you could imagine, you could make it come to life, you could make it real, you could have it, you thought of it, your subconscious thought of it, you had that item. And time travel. So this chair was a super, super powerful thing. They wanted to separate the brain into different sections, and they wanted to remove the things that they didn't want and put in things that they did want, so that you would just become like this superhuman robot doing whatever they wanted you to do, which would be the ultimate mass weapon, you know, like the ultimate soldier, right? You could just do whatever and you don't have any fear. They took away fear. So when they tell you to do something, you don't think like, okay, I gotta do that, but like I'm scared. You just do it. You could just imagine how terrifying that would be to be kidnapped in the middle of the night, brought out to this place in the middle of nowhere. Like, there's nothing out there. It's dark. You're put in a basement underground and tortured. Then you lose your mind. You're not even yourself anymore. You're just a robot doing whatever they want you to do. And that's what they did to people. Some people were killed from radiation. You know, everything is testing, experimental. So obviously none of this was, you know, no one was willing to do this, and they were just held captive against their own will. So some people will find a way to fight back. So obviously the Montauk Chair was a very dangerous thing to have. It's super powerful. It had the ability to do all these things, to create horrible things. In 1983, several members of the Montauk Project were getting fed up with the aims of the project heads. They were just like, this is messed up, I don't like what's going on here. And one man named Duncan Cameron sat in that very powerful Montauk Chair that brings things to life, and he manifested from his subconscious this beast that kind of looked like Sasquatch. It was a big, hairy monster named Junior, or the Beast they called it. And this thing ran rampage around that base and started destroying everything, killing scientists, just eating everything in sight. And while this is happening, there is one member that was running around cutting all the conduits and cables to the transmitter to try to shut down the project and cut out the power. The transmitter powered down and the beast faded away. After that, everyone was emptied out of the base. People were brainwashed to forget everything that had happened there. And in 1984, all the underground tunnels and everything were filled with cement. The gates were locked, and once again, Camp Hero was just an abandoned Air Force base. The base was then donated to New York State, and it's now, to this day, a New York State park that you can walk around and hike at. Some victims of the Montauk Project have experienced flashbacks, and that's how they knew that they were in the Montauk Project, because they said people were brainwashed to forget it, but they would get flashbacks of exact events and remember and keep remembering that they were involved in this horrible thing. I'll link whatever I can find down below. I know there's a couple victim interviews, there's documentaries and stuff like that, so if you want to keep looking into it, I highly recommend it. It's a very interesting subject, especially interesting to me since I live so close to it. And I know it's interesting for all you people who watch Stranger Things that hopefully know about the correlation, because Stranger Things was actually supposed to be called Montauk. I know there's different theories to why 11's name is 11. Some people say the radar tower has 11 floors and that's why 11 is named that. Some people say that she's 11 because there were supposedly that many test subjects. I'm not really sure why they named her 11, but it's interesting to think about. And I know that 11's mom was definitely one of the people who had psychic abilities, and they took advantage of that. So there are a lot of things that Stranger Things obviously took directly from Montauk, and I think it's really cool, especially the interdimensional beings. The upside down world is basically another dimension. And there's so much more besides what I already said in this video about the Montauk Project, but I can't go on and on for like an hour about this because my computer will not let me save a very long video. So I hope you like this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you want to see more videos like this. Subscribe to my channel. Press the little bell in the bottom right corner, I think it's in, if you want to be notified when I have a new video. And if you have any requests for videos of this kind of topic, any mystery videos, conspiracy videos, leave a request down below in the comments. I love to hear what you think, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!